You breathe, you move, you think. But have you ever wondered what exactly powers all of it? This isn't just about calories or ATP. This is about a hidden system inside every living cell, where enzymes act like microscopic engineers, turning sunlight and molecules into thought, movement, and life itself. In this video, we'll break down metabolism not just as a chemical process, but as the universal language of survival, a story where biology, chemistry, and even philosophy meet. Ready to see how your cells write the code of life? Let's begin. Hello there, I'm Hossein Ershadi. Welcome to Oxytoplasm and this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about metabolism and bioenergetics. And in this educational series, especially the biochemistry metabolism playlist, my goal is to provide a comprehensive, research-driven, and interdisciplinary approach to biochemistry of metabolism. This way, research potential can grow and advance further. Metabolism is all about enzymes. Every living cell has a huge number of enzymes. These enzymes, depending on their function, work in a system where they catalyze reactions in specific pathways, one after another, leading to a final product. These pathways are called metabolic pathways. Multi-enzyme systems are highly coordinated with each other. This coordination means that cells get their chemical energy either from sunlight or by breaking down energy-rich nutrients, and they use energy to build precursors for macromolecules like monomers. Then these monomers go into the synthesis pathways where proteins, nucleic acids, lipids, and carbohydrates are made. For example, if we have a metabolic pathway with 10 enzymes, the first enzyme grabs the substrate in its specific cavity and modifies it in a way that when it enters the second enzyme's cavity, its structure changes and gets optimized. So the modified substrate from enzyme 1 has an affinity to attach to enzyme 2, and the process continues through to enzyme 10, where the substrate goes through 10 stages of modification to get its final function. Also, this pathway might be connected with another one. For instance, enzyme 5 would activate an enzyme from another pathway that works alongside the first pathway, leading to the same target. So now you have a good understanding of the cell's metabolic process. All living organisms must perform certain functions to survive. Two main factors, structure and energy, determine how these functions work. You can understanding the role of a structure in living organisms function by checking out the video linked in the description. For organisms to use energy for their functions, they convert it into different forms. For example, a firefly uses energy to make molecular precursors like amino acids, and it also uses this energy to produce light and move. So converting energy from one form to another is key to understanding how living organisms function and survive. Anthony Lavoisier was the first to study how organisms, especially animals, produce energy. He discovered an animal's body is at a specific temperature like humans at 37 centigrade. Something must be burning in the body to produce heat, much like burning wood or coal. He said that in animals, carbon burns very slowly and in specific amounts. This process consumes oxygen, and together burning carbons and consuming oxygen produce heat in the animal's body. Lavoisier also connected this with cellular respiration as a vital process for life. One important aspect of understanding metabolic pathway is realizing how energy is created and consumed in the body, how many types of energy are involved, and how they help the pathways function. It's also worth mentioning that nucleoside triphosphates play a key role in energy metabolism. Bioenergetics. A living organism that gets food as an energy source constantly converts this energy in its body or cells to drive chemical processes toward specific outcomes. This exchange of energy in living cells is called bioenergetics. In general, energy is never created or destroyed. It just changes form. Here's an interesting thing. When energy changes form to move a process forward, energy conversion happens. What do we mean by process? Process means order. When energy is used, a path or sequence is organized for the energy to be consumed and transformed, ultimately achieving the goal. For example, when cells want to build amino acids, they follow a synthesis pathway. This pathway is a process that consumes their stored energy to synthesize an amino acid. Philosophically, this idea can also be applied to human culture and society, where organized paths lead to progress. However, as the process moves forward, disorder entropy increases in the environment. And entropy always increases in the universe. Cells are isothermal systems, meaning they work at a relatively constant temperature and pressure. The heat inside the cells flows out evenly into the environment, so the pressure of this flow is nearly zero. Therefore, heat in isothermal systems doesn't count as an energy source, so cells need free energy. Cells are categorized based on their energy source, heterotrophic and autotrophic. Heterotrophic cells get their energy from breaking down nutrients, while autotrophic cells produce their own energy via photosynthesis. Both types of cells convert and store their energy as ATP and other high-energy compounds. The energy stored in the phosphate bonds of nucleoside triphosphates is much more potent than the fixed heat inside the cells, and it powers biological reactions by breaking those bonds. Autotrophs use sunlight, carbon dioxide from the air, and water to produce glucose and other biomolecules. But heterotrophs cannot do this. Instead, they break down organic carbon molecules like glucose to obtain energy. So heterotrophs, unlike autotrophs, cannot use carbon dioxide gas and sunlight to make their biomolecules. They rely on pre-existing organic materials. The life cycles of autotrophs and heterotrophs are interdependent. Heterotrophs release carbon dioxide and produce water when they break down organic materials and consume oxygen, and autotrophs use this carbon dioxide, sunlight, and water to create their organic molecules and release oxygen. Can we conclude that oxygen, water, and carbon dioxide are constantly cycling between the boards of autotrophs and heterotrophs driven by sunlight, and that the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere is highest in the evening while carbon dioxide peaks in the morning? Most macromolecules like proteins, nucleic acids, certain lipids, and certain carbohydrates contain nitrogen, which is an essential need for all living organisms. Autotrophs and bacteria obtain nitrogen from ammonia or nitrate, while vertebrates get their nitrogen mainly from breaking down amino acids and other nitrogen-containing organic compounds. Thank you so much for paying attention to me until this time. I hope this video useful for you, and have a good time. Be victorious. Goodbye.